Welcome back, guys. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Java date and the time. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started with this. Let me just close out all these things so you can start fresh. Let me minimize all this. And let's go ahead and create a new package on this. Yeah, there you go, package. I'm just going to call it date and date and time, or I just call it date time, doesn't matter. Finish. In here, let's go ahead and create a class. Any class is fine. You can call it java date time. I'm going to initialize it with the main method. Finish. And we have that, right? So the Java date and the time, those are built-in APIs within Java, right? We can just import the java.time package, and that should be good. Just like whenever we work in the scanner class, right? We had the scanner class imported over here, right? Okay. Let me just show you guys an example. So whenever I do scanner, right, it says import java.util scanner, because this is scanner class is coming directly from Java. Same thing over here, we have the date and the time, which is also a which also gets imported from the Java time gets imported within from it just comes directly from the Java itself. And there are a few different things that we can do in here. So let's say I wanted to know the time right now, right? And how I would do this thing, we can go local. Again, as you can see, there are a few different options, right? We have local date and time, local date, and then local time. So again, if we want to know the local time, right? As you saw that, this thing automatically got imported. So if I do that again, so if I just do local time, just keep an eye over here. As soon as I hit enter over here on this, you see this thing gets imported. This is coming in directly from the java.time.LocalTime. Okay, so if I do local time, and let's say whatever, local time is fine, equal local time dot, and again we have all of these different options, right? All of these different options over here. So let's say we do this local time dot now, and if we were to s out local time, let's go ahead and run this thing. Let's see what we get. See, we get all this, right? And again, that's expected. We got the actual time. Okay, and again, this is like the hours, this is the minutes, this is the seconds, and this is the nanosecond. Okay, this is military time, basically 20 is like 8:45 basically. So anyways, so we have that, right? Now let's say we want to do we want to know the date. Same thing, we do local and then we do date. Again, we can do local date, right? It doesn't really matter what we select, but anyways, equals local date dot, again we can do now, right? You have the local date. And if we do s out on this and it says local date, and if we were to print this, this gives me the date, right? This gives me the date, which is year, month, and the date. Okay, so that's all good. Now we got what? We got the time and we got the date. Now, if I want to display both of them together, right? Let's say I want to display both the date and the time. What we do is we do local, you see, we have local date, we have local time, and then we have local date time. So we just do local date time space, you can do local date time again, equals local date time dot now, right? You just select that as out local date time, which is this variable here, run it. See, it gives me both come together, right? Obviously, which is good. And that T just stands, just says it's a time, so it just gives you that. Obviously, this looks very ugly, right? It's I mean, again, so this is how you basically do it, right? But again, this looks very ugly. Like, you know, it's this time nobody prints this out like this. So if we want to format it, there are ways to format this as well. And how we will format this is by the following way, okay? There's something called DateTimeFormatter, okay? So I'm going to say format date and time, okay? So on this, there's something called DateTimeFormatter, okay? This thing, DateTimeFormatter. So you have this, and we can just do, again, we can just do DateTimeFormat, doesn't really matter. Equals, again, DateTimeFormatter dot, either have to do op pattern, which is this, okay? Op pattern. I'm sorry, this one, the string. The one that just have string right here, not the one string pattern and local, not that one. Just do the string pattern. And on this, you have everything, date time formatter out. So on this one, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be putting in, date time formatter, which is this, date time formatter op pattern. In here, or let me just close this out first. In here, we're going to be putting in the format that we want, right? We can say day, day, month, month, and then year, right? Space, hour, minute, and then second. Okay. Why is this giving me error? Oh, my bad. Okay. I had a quotation, that's why it was giving me error. It's my mistake. Anyways, so now we have this, right? But we're not done yet. So now what do we have to do? We have to do string. Let's say we want to do, let's say my date time or my formatted date time equal, we're going to get this, but there's local date, okay? So local date dot format, okay? And this again, this date time formatter, it automatically got selected, which is from here, date time formatter. So that's that. Now let's print it out and see if we actually have this thing solved. My date time, my formatted date time. Okay, yep. Let's go ahead and see if that actually worked. So let me actually put a couple of lines over here. Oops. Let me actually put a couple of things over here so you guys will see the difference. Run. Oops, there's an error. What happens? Date time formatter, local date, right? We have the local date over here. So date time formatter, we have the date time formatter, op pattern, we have that, string, my format date time, local date dot format, date time formatter, s out, my formatted date. Why didn't that work? Let me local time, local date, local date time. Oh, I see. Okay. This thing right here, local date time, I needed to get that. I only selected the local date, not the local date time. Okay. Local date time. There you go. So there you go, right there. Okay. So hopefully you guys saw that. Again, that was not by intentional, but it just happened, and hopefully that was a good lesson for you guys as well. So what I had done initially, as you can see right here, right? This thing was for the time, right? This thing was for the date. This thing was for date and time, right? Now, right? So format. So this thing, what I had done before over here, this local date time, I actually selected this by mistake. I overlooked this thing. So this date right here, the local date, I have this local date, right? I don't need to select that. I don't need to format that. I needed to be this, the local date time, because that's basically what I'm trying to format, right? Otherwise it looked like this. It was very ugly, right? So what I was trying to do, I was trying to format that. So I was trying to get this object that we created over here, right? So what I'm saying is that string my formatted date time. This is something that I can pick whatever name I want. Local date time is the name that I had put in for the local date time dot format and then date time formatter, which is basically this variable that I had put in here, the local date time in here. So then whenever I want to print it out, I basically just put in this name, and right now it's good to go. So just make sure this thing is the same thing as the date time that you had initially provided. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense, guys. So, oh, one more thing. This thing right here, right? If I wanted that in this format, basically the 20 whatever, if I was to just do capital HH and run this, that'll give me that 20 and all those things. So again, it just depends on, however you prefer. But there are multiple ways that you guys can do this thing. There are, here are a couple examples, so you guys can just know this thing. I'll put this in, I'll put it like this, so you guys will understand this. So here, let me close it out. Yeah. So on here, right, if we have, let's say year, then month, then day, this is same as putting in, this is the same thing as putting, this is the same as the result, let's say 2022, let's say 01, and let's say 20, it doesn't matter, whatever. So that's basically the same. That's the format that is when I print out. So you have the year, month, and the day, right? And then you can also do date, month, year, right? And what this would do, this would print out, because you have the day first, right? So in this case, you're gonna have 28, then you have the month, right? Which is 01, and then you have the year, which is 2022. Same thing for the other one, we have day, month, and then year, right? So in this case, what this would do, this is first you have the date, right? Which is again 28, and then you have Jan, right? Is a 3-letter right there. It gives you the 3-letter Jan, and then 2022. If you put like E, and then like this, DD, and then year. So in this case, what this should do, this should print out let's see what date January was. January 28th. January 28th was a Friday, right? So this would basically do Friday, right? And then it'll do Jan 28, 2022. Okay. That's basically the formatting for that. Yeah. So here I'll actually print this out for you guys so you guys can actually see the differences. Let's just copy that and replace it here, right? And run as Java application. See, it gives you the date. Again, this example, I put it for January, obviously, right? But we're getting the local time over here, which is this date today, which is Wednesday. Again, that's what it's doing. It gives you all those three different things. If I was to select this one, or actually we did that. So let's do this one. So it gives you a different answer. So if I was to do this, run as Java application, as you can see that right there, you see, it gives you that specific formatting. It's whatever formatting that you are providing. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for this. Just remember, there are a couple of different things, right? We have the local time, right? And then we have the local date, we have the local date time, and then we have the date time formatter, right? These are the main things in the Java date time. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful, guys. If you guys found this helpful, please don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day, guys. Bye.